City lights blink, but they don't speak. Empty wallets, dreams looking weak. Concrete jungle where love takes a seat. Violence whispers, struggles on repeat. This is the life we know. The highs, the lows, the show. Hearts are heavy, pockets are light. Love's a...
Hey, how you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
I'm alright. What's your name?
My name is Aminte Reamer.
Hey,
My middle name's Amy, and everybody calls me Amy.
Hey, where you from?
I am from Bartow, Florida.
And what brings you down this way?
Woo! Let's talk about that. Long story short, I was dealing with an abusive relationship, and that is how I ended up here, because my mom and dad was here. So that was in 2008. So I've been here ever since.
All right. Now, I just want to ask you a couple questions as far as have you ever been homeless or dealt with almost being homeless, or what's your story?
Well, first I would say I feel like if you're not in your own place, I honestly feel like you're homeless. I can't actually sit in a homeless person's shoe in the sense of actually being on the street or anything like that, so I'm not even going to pretend like that. For me, for my homeless was me leaving my home, moving in with my kid father at the time, and I left there and ended up at my mom's house. So for me, living in my mom's living room with 3 kids, I feel like that was homeless because that was not my roof.
Now, how did that make you feel?
Oh, it made me feel like crap. It made me feel less of a mom. It made me feel like I didn't want to be here because I failed my children. I felt like really little. I felt like, why me? And my kids had to watch me figure it out. To one point where I didn't even want to be here. Like I was ready to, at that time I was ready to commit suicide.
Now, how was life before all of that happened?
Well, like before all of that, I was in my own place. I was stable, living above the water, enough to get by and stuff like that, but always had my own roof. And when I lost being under my own roof, that it felt like it took a lot from me. It made me feel little. It made me feel like, it just made me feel worthless. It made me feel like, oh my God, like, it's one thing to be homeless for yourself, but then it's one thing to be homeless and have 1 baby, 2 babies, 3 babies. Because I had 3 babies. And to live in someone's home, I don't care if it's your mom, your child, I don't care who home it is. If it's not yours, I consider that homeless. And it wasn't okay for me.
What did you do to get by?
Well, I went to church services because it was already bad enough that I was living on my mom's roof. I didn't want to be taking nothing from them. You know what I'm saying? So that's 4 extra miles. So I would go to church services. I would go and try to get assistance any possible way I could. And when they did those applications to ask me was I homeless? Yes, I am homeless, because living in a living room, that's not yours. You know what I'm saying? That's your home, but that was not my home. That was me just borrowing space, even if that was at my parents' house. So yes, I did whatever was necessary to make sure me and my kids had.
And was it hard for you to find resources?
To be honest with you, no. What's hard about resources if you don't go look for them. And when I say that is, I'm not going to lie, Highlands County is somewhere that has resources everywhere. Everywhere has resources. But if you don't go looking for it, it's not going to come knocking at your door. So I did have to get out early mornings, even if it was all day, and go to certain places for like homeless shelters or places you can get food or places you can get clothes and things like that. So, you know, it was a lot going on, but like I say, you have to go look for the resources. They're not going to come knocking on the door because no one knows you're going through the situation if you're not telling anybody. And once you go through a situation where you feel like you're homeless, you don't want to tell people because you want people to think you got it together. But let me tell you something. It's okay not to have it together. It's okay to be in a place where you can't no more and you need help. You got to go get it because there's plenty of resources out here. And by the grace of God, after months of just going and finding, I found a program that the funds were back open where they was assisting you 3 months to put you in a place. And there's where my blessing came, where me and my kids wasn't homeless no more. Where they provided 3 months of putting us in a place. Thank God I had just recently had a little job, so they knew that I can keep it up after that. And you know, that's how we end up back in a place. A 2-bedroom, 1 bath we ended up in, but it was okay. I only had 1 son, 2 daughters, and I made it work. I made it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? You got to work with what you have, because when you don't have nothing, you feel like you're hopeless. But when they give you them apples, hey, make some applesauce. And that's what I did. I made it work, and we stayed in that place until like 5 years. 5 years until they sold the property and we moved. And that's where we are. That's when we moved in the home we is in today. But let me tell you something. If you're out there and you are homeless, or you live with somebody, to me, that's homeless. Get up, put a smile on your face, and go look for resources, because Highlands County have them all the way to the ground. Whether it's just food, whether it's clothing, whether it's places where you can go take showers, whether it's places where you can warm up your food, whether it's places they give you vouchers to go wash. I just feel like, and I don't want to sound crazy when I say this, and I'm not knocking nobody that's in a predicament, because I don't know no one's predicament. But there's so much resources in Highlands County that I can't say you can't be homeless. But you should be able to get by being homeless. Now, I'm not saying they can shelter everybody. I'm not saying that they can put money in your pockets. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is resources are there, especially for you not to be homeless, especially for you to have warm clothes on, wash clothes, for you to take a shower. You know, they have it out there. You just have to go, and you got to look for it. The same way we can sit around and say how homeless we are, that's the same way we can get up and put that motivation of going somewhere to find help. Because it's out there. My biggest thing is that no one ever in the world has to be homeless. But guess what? If that was for me, it wouldn't be. Nobody would be homeless. But that's not my faith. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I just feel like you got to get up and you got to want it for yourself. I done seen and know people that has been homeless, and right now they richer than rich, living their best life, entrepreneurs, got business, all this, and they don't have no kids. You know what I mean? And they live in their best life, and they came from nothing, being put out with only the clothes on their back. And right now, you get their book with hairdos, they book with, you know, they're just doing their thing. And I feel like if they can do it, we all can do it. You know what I mean? Like I said, our situation won't be the same, but I promise you, coming out, it can be as easy as you want it to be.
All
you know what I mean?
Put the effort in.
Put effort in. That's it. It can be so easy to just look for those resources. I promise you, because we always think, oh, they ain't for us. They're not going to win it. It's not our county. All that. That's not so. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. Go and look for yourself, because I promise you, what you're looking for is a timing and a season for you. Whether it's for you that moment or you next month, God always sets stuff right on time. So I feel like you got to get out there. You got to push. Don't feel like you're not worth it. Don't feel like you don't deserve it. Don't feel like because I had an addiction, this is why I'm here. It doesn't matter why you're there. It doesn't matter where you go from being there trying to come back up. That's my biggest thing. So, you know, all I can say is prayers to everyone that's out there that's homeless. That's really homeless.
Do you feel like people take being in a home for granted?
Yes, I do. Because I'm one of them. And I'm going to just speak for myself, because I was in my own home. And I had everything that we needed. Maybe not everything we wanted, but everything we needed. And I decided to make a dumb decision, sell everything that we own besides our clothes, to move in with a man. You scared to say that, with a man. And it didn't even work out. And I was right back at my mom's house. And that destroyed me. It killed me. It took me to a whole nother level of life. And I'm not speaking for nobody else, I'm just speaking for me. I always said, once I got back on my feet after that, I would never in life again live with a man. If he's not my husband and our name is on that house or apartment or whatever, I ain't doing it. I'm not taking my kids through that. I'm not taking myself through that. I'm telling you, it's one thing to be homeless for yourself compared to being homeless with your children, because that's what kills you. When you have to look at your children and you all smugged up in one bed and you got to wake up and try to figure it out. You got to make sure they get what they got to get and they got to do this. You got to go from one bus stop to another because you're not in a stable place. Address ain't the same. It's mind-boggling. It's stress. It makes you go into a depression. It makes you feel like everything that you can think of being a mom, it makes you feel the worst of it. You know, and I don't want to take my kids through that again. I don't want to take myself through that again. But I'm just telling you, don't think because you are where you are that that's where your last stop is, because it's not.
Right. Well, I always ask everybody this: when it comes to the government, do you think the government has enough resources, or what do you think the government can do to provide more resources for all?
I do believe the government has more than enough resources. Where really, honestly, no one has to be on the street. I really feel like that. I feel like all this money they wasting on, don't get me wrong, we need roads and we need all this, yeah, I get it. But all this unnecessary money building roads, the same roads 50 million times, or trying to make more road lanes, or unnecessary. We already got 3 McDonald's here, they want to put 50 more McDonald's, and we got one place here, they want to put 50. Like, unnecessary stuff is being done right before our eyes and we can't do nothing about it. And you got people over here that's really homeless with their children. Only thing you can do is stop and either give them some change or give them some, offer them something to eat or whatever. What can we do? It'd be nice and it'd be so sweet if we could say, everybody that was homeless that we went by, come on and stay with me. Come on and stay with me. But we know, realistically, we can't do that. We can't do that. So we're not going to fake like we can do that, because we can't.
Right.
We cannot do that. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing we can offer them is food, some money, and a prayer. Because we can't. At the end of the day, the world we in today because of the government. You can't even trust nobody at your doorstep. You wouldn't even trust somebody giving nobody a nice blanket in a mattress on your porch. Because everybody's out for themselves right now, because the government want us to be against each other. They want us to be at each other's neck. When they can fix a lot of the problems that we have today, they can fix. But guess what? Instead of making it better, they're making it worse.
What do you think about us fixing it for ourselves as far as community?
Well, to be honest with you, I would love to say that if communities get together and do the minimum, if you can't overdo it. Like you know what I'm saying? You get stuff and you make bags and you pass out to the homeless. That's a start. You know what I'm saying? Even for me, like, say if I'm riding by and I see people, I don't care what they do with the money. It ain't my business. Right. If they got a sign to say they're homeless or they need work, guess what? If I got some dollars and I can stop before the light turn, I'm going to give it to them. Because it ain't my business. Because if it was me out there with my kids sitting on the sidewalk, guess what? I would want somebody to stop. Even if they offer me just prayer, I want somebody to start. See, people don't even know. You just asking me, do I need anything, makes a big difference than you just riding by me. Or you looking at me like, child, please, they not really homeless. They just putting on. Who cares? That ain't our business. Right. It ain't our business that they're putting on. It ain't our business what they do with their money. All we need to know is we did our part. Because the blessing comes from above. It don't come from you. God knows the heart. Right. And if your heart is not pure about looking out for people, don't ever think that you're going to heaven. Because one thing about it, God say take care of your neighbors, take care of your brothers and your sisters, regardless of what the kid's situation may be. I don't care if they come over here cracked out. I don't care if they come over here falling all to the floor. Guess what? You're either going to help them or you're not. Because being judgmental ain't going to get us nowhere. That's going to send us to hell faster than anything. Exactly. Because I know how it is to be judged, and I know how it is to have judged people before. Mm-hmm. You got to stop. Stop. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come into the community and help out. Perfect. But if we're not, go on about your business. But just remember, today is their season. It can be your season next time. So I just tell everybody, if you can, do what you can. Nobody telling you to overdo nothing. Nobody telling you to give nobody your rent money. Anybody telling nobody to give you reward money. Anybody telling you to move nobody in. Right. But what you can do. What you can't, pray about it. Exactly.
Well, I appreciate you, and I thank you for the interview and everything. And hopefully that whatever's going good for you now, everything get better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
All right. Hey, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Think about this, because there's a few things that she said. First of all, she says the resources out there. She went and found them. But the thing is, everybody wants everything handed to them. You know, you can't have everything handed to you. You know, that's how you get homeless too, because you're always dependent on everybody else, and everybody else got to move on with their life. So you make the choice whether you want to be homeless, whether you want to be stuck in a rut, or stuck in a struggle. I mean, you got to learn. And if you don't learn how to be able to provide for yourself, be able to go and get the resources you need. Because you can't sit on the couch wishing somebody to take you to the bathroom, you're still sitting in your own shit. What you going to do? You going to get up and clean your shit off, or are you going to get up and do something with your life to try to help yourself, find the resources for somebody else to help you? You got to be willing to help yourselves, because you can't just put it on everybody else to take care of you. We all are responsible for ourselves. So, hey, only thing I can say is, whether you got a home, whether you don't have a home, you don't put your foot forward for yourself, you're going to wind up in the streets just like everybody else. Except those people know how to deal with it. Some choose to be out there, some don't. The ones that scared is the ones that's living in a home about to be. Hey, until later, have a good one.
Why does love feel